Hi, everybody. Welcome to our community Zoom call. Today, for NetNomads Community, today the idea for the conversation is to really talk about the social marketplace. What is it? How has it come about? And then possibly more importantly, what has been getting, bigger and bigger and bigger is just this whole avalanche of AI generated content. And right now it's pretty much the content itself that's being generated, but what's coming our way are agents and bots. And soon we won't really be able to tell the difference between a real human and a fake human, an AI generated human uh, based on just the rate of development of the whole thing. So that is absolutely the idea behind the call tonight, is to open it up into discussion about how do we see this moving forward as a community, as a collective. So I'm going to start off just by sharing my screen to run through what the principle is of NetNomads. It is about bringing the heart into business, and this is something that Norma is absolutely a pioneer in as well. Is fostering conscious business, bringing the heart into business, really taking it out of the head, bringing it into the heart, and feeling into that living energy of the heart, and then letting that drive the decisions. And so your mind, your thinking, all that kind of it moves out of the driver's seat, and it becomes the facilitator rather than the person who's actually driving it. Because at the end of the day, everything that we're going to be doing in business, for it to be sustainable in the new model, in the new way of doing things, is coming through the heart. This is all part of the ascension process that we're working with, that we are all feeling into. And that's the idea behind this whole social marketplace. And even before I realized how the depth of what AI was happening, as an online marketer, a really big aspect for me is, how do we get our name out there? How do we build an audience? How do we find our ideal clients? Where do we go? Obviously there are the usual social media platforms, like LinkedIn is a really big one for relationships. You got Facebook, which is normally for groups, or possibly for keeping up to date with your auntie, who is like 1,000 years old and has just managed to do that. There's LinkedIn and there's TikTok, and each of these different platforms have got a different purpose, a different reason for being there. And the reason why our platform is here is absolutely for people like us who are doing this inner work. We kind of speak a different language. We understand energetics, we understand moving from victimhood into creativity. We really are speaking a different language. And what I found is it's kind of difficult. Well, it has been challenging, bringing all these people together. So this is a big part of what NetNomads Community is about. And if you come to the homepage, you can see that we've got really three primary sections. We've got the social side, we've got the marketplace, and then we've got the community. So I'm going to start off with the community aspect, because this is what it's all about. NetNomads is specifically for people who are doing the inner work. At the moment, the bulk of these people are people who are practicing and students of Dr. Joe Dispenza. And what I love about this community is the deep, deep, deep understanding of change happens within. The whole idea of being a victim and staying attached to our limited beliefs is something that we're all very conscious of, and we're all very aware of. And self-observation, metacognition is something that's incredibly important for us, and we understand that to make these changes, it is an inside job. This is the inner work. So for me, the people who are practicing Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, and what we're learning through that is all the modalities of practice. Ultimately everybody's saying the same thing. but just in a completely different way. So that's the community aspect of it. It's people who are doing the inner work, and inner work looks different to different people. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing meditation, for example. It could be that you're just very cognitive and you have a somatic experience of doing things differently. So it is a deeply personal journey. It's not just people who are practicing Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, or practicing Greg Braden's work, or practicing Byron Katie's work, or whoever it is. It's people who are aware of, the inner self is then reflecting into the outer self, and this is the process that we're trying to change. We're trying to break that feedback loop of what we see in the outer world has been feeding what we feel in the inner world, and then that feeds, and then we end up recreating the same story. We're recreating the past, and we're just living the same year over and over again, or the same day over and over again. So the purpose of doing the inner work is to break that cycle and to really just tap into this living energy of our hearts, and feel into the rest of who we are, instead of just this not common, not 1% physical particle that is what we're focusing on. So getting back to how can we create a warm and fuzzy space for us to be able to support each other in our personal lives, in our professional lives, but also spiritually. And this is where the social aspect of it comes in. When we are logged into the, so NetNomads is an invitation-only platform. People can't register themselves. They need to be invited in by somebody who is a member. And it's really important for us, because in that way, we are, keeping it sacred. We're protecting our space. We could open it up. In fact, but before I really got into this whole thing, I opened it up, and like within a week, the website got hacked by someone in some, really weird country, and that was like a really big lesson. Like, this isn't going to happen. Like, okay, fine. So it's been a beautiful labor of love, because it's been developing as the information is becoming in, and as I've been doing my own inner work as well. So the social aspect of it is, once we logged in, we've got all these different functionalities and systems that we've got. We've got the groups that we can do it. We've got our resource library, which is where we can get to share and get to know each other, and like each other, and build authentic relationships. That is the most important thing. We're not looking for perfect. We're looking for authentic. It's people first, like, sorry, Norma, I hope you don't mind, I'm using you as an example now. Before we hopped to the call, Norma says, I'm leaving soon, I'm traveling, I've got this whole lot of stuff to do, and I need to do some physical stuff. Would you rather I turn up my camera, going, no, this is exactly what this platform is about. It is about us being authentic with each other. We are people first, and then we're professionals. We are people first. Absolutely, we are people first. So that's the social aspect of it. And then the other aspect of especially heart-centered people, and this is something that has been a huge part of my inner work, my journey of growth, is tapping into that sense of self-worth, the sense of, moving through that whole imposter syndrome, which so many of us face, and making it easy for people to do business with us. I mean, I've been working as a webmaster for a very long time, and very often, when people come to me to help them build a website, it's the last step of the process, really. Because in order to be able to get there and build your website, you need to know what it is that you offer. You need to know your secret sauce. You need to know your juju. What is the exact product that you're offering? What is, what is it that you, how are you serving others in a really heartfelt and centered way? So I noticed that people actually didn't know all of this, and we're really not making it easy for people to do business with us. I mean, I've seen websites where I click on a link, and then I'm searching what just about, and it's like while I love adventures, it's not necessarily the best way to do business with each other. So the idea behind the marketplace is for us to make it easy to be of service to each other, so we can really support each other professionally as well. And what we've done is the marketplace, there is a nominal contribution to that supports the whole platform. And this is how we are able to grow this platform and really get it to a state of, let's design this the way we want to design this, design this together. The platform as we see it now is what has come through over over the years. But I would love to see an app for this. I would love to see, what kind of functionality would everybody else like? And this is where it is going to be community driven, absolutely. And this is the purpose of this conversation as well. Is that how would this platform and this community support you best as a professional, as someone who is wanting personal growth, someone who's wanting to just share this journey of spiritual growth, which can be really and to be able to share it with people who are on a similar journey. I mean, for me, that's absolutely invaluable. But then the other part that has, and this is the topic of the conversation, is we are seeing in all of these other platforms, we are seeing AI content, content that has been created with AI is just coming thick and faster to us. And obviously, at first, our resistance is like, oh, that just looks weird, and then we kind of get acclimatized to it, and then we start doing it ourselves. Which the content itself isn't a problem. Where the problem comes in is when we aren't aware, when we can't see the difference between something that a human has created and something that a bot has created or an AI has created, or even the possibility of having an agent represent you. So it looks like you, it sounds like you, it speaks like you, it moves like you, and you know how will people be able to just tap into that whole, like, what's authentic? And for me, I'm really excited about this because I see this as a huge invitation for us to really tap into our heart centers. This is the invitation for humanity, for all of us to go, wow, okay, the value and the emphasis we had on that whole, the knowledge, the intellectual property, and all of this way of doing business is kind of being, swept out from under us, because information is going to be. I mean, it is already available, like in ways that we've never ever considered. I mean, I saw a really funny headline today that was all about revenge of the blue collar workers. And I remember like 20, 30 years ago, where the blue collar workers were looked down upon. And I used to be guilty of that as well. When I started getting into the corporate ladder, I was like, oh no, I mean, I'm embarrassed now when I think about it, but I used to look down on the electricians and the plumbers. And now who's really absolutely smiling? Because AI can't replace what they're doing, which is actually quite funny. Yeah, so I really see this as a wonderful opportunity for us to, tap into our inner inner core of who we are. And how can we grow and develop as a community of people who are doing this work, and who what and there will be a point where we're going to be helping other people who are possibly just stepping into doing their inner work. So that's the invitation for this conversation. I've shared the principle of what Net Nomads is about. So I'd love to open up the discussion, and say, what are your thoughts? What would we, how do you see this happening? Nyasha, if you would like to share something, how has AI played a role, if at all, in your world?
AI. For me,
Yeah.
I've it's something that really worries me, if I may say.
Mm.
Yes, it helps in some way, but I feel like it's a distraction in making people do inner work. It's just not gonna help. Yes, it will help. It will help business wise, but there is no that human touch or human feeling. I was thinking about that today. I was at a place where there were so many people, and I think there was just energy that was off. And then
Yeah,
the spirits just came through and just started. I don't know what was happening in that place,
yeah,
but it kind of just in the end raised the frequency of that place. And then as you were speaking, I was saying,
yeah,
how would AI fit into this kind of scenario
yeah,
where you does it clear any energies
yeah,
or help people raise their frequency? Or I don't know. It's just it just came through when you were talking about it. So I was just thinking, how does AI play out in this thing that just happened? Because in the end, I was
yeah,
just so exhausted. But
yeah,
in that moment, I could feel
yeah,
there was something that was happening in that place. Even the
mm,
people who were in there felt
yeah,
it. Because when we started, the vibe was so low, and then
hmm,
the mood just changed all of a
wow,
sudden.
yeah,
Yeah, so I was just thinking about that. Even for me, it was something new to me, but I could see
yeah.
something. So I don't know.
So, so, are you saying that you were working on raising the vibration where you were? Is that what changed?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah.
I could feel the spirit coming in to do something. I was
Right. Right.
almost like I'm just there, but something is happening
Yeah. Oh,
behind
amazing.
the scenes. Yes,
Yeah.
but yeah. So as you were speaking, I was like, where does AI comes
Yeah.
through everything that happened today? Even the where
Yeah.
we were, the people who were there, they could
Yeah.
tell that there's something that is shifting here.
Mm.
So even when I was speaking about it,
Yeah.
a lot of people were saying, we felt something, we felt something.
Wow.
Yeah, so for me, I was just thinking about it. Even for me, up to now,
Yeah.
I'm still so exhausted from everything that was happening.
The energies have been pretty intense.
Yeah, it was.
Mm. Yes. Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a valid point. Mm.
So there's a few things I'd like to share, if I may, if that's all
Please
right.
do. Please do.
So first of all, I'd just like to say one of the things that I am doing at the moment, and this is a call to action for all of us in this gorgeous community, is I am seeking heart-based conversations with as many people as possible who are involved in NetNomads, or perhaps who had intended to become involved in NetNomads, but then, as happens, the tsunami of life and things you have to do takes you over and
Yeah.
you don't manage that. So, wherever you are, if you've signed up for NetNomads and you
Yeah.
haven't really become engaged, or if you're moderately engaged or significantly engaged, I'd love to have conversations with you, because for me, in this whole discussion about AI, it is the humanness, it's the connection, it's that bond that we feel. And this is an extraordinary community. If someone comes into the fold and says, I need help, there are so many people
Yeah.
who rally
Yeah.
and reach
Yeah.
out. And that
Mm.
algorithm based.
There's really something quite extraordinary about people and that energy that comes with that human aspect of us.
Absolutely.
So if you feel that you can spare 20, 30 minutes, it could even be 10 minutes of your time, it will be invaluable to us to really start to find out more about where you are on your journey, and talk about ideas and what your needs might be, whether you're involved with NetNomads or not at this point in time. Where are you on your journey, and what are your needs, and what kind of things are serving you
exactly
on your path? So that would be extraordinary. So please do reach out via NetNomads, Norma Foster. I'd love, absolutely love, love, love to have a conversation with you about that, because this will all help us to create a platform that's going to be supportive and powerful, and bring. It's really difficult to explain what the essence of a truly powerful, engaged, connected community is. But you will all know in your heart of hearts what that is about.
Sure.
And we'd like to hear from you. We'd like to, talk about what's important to you. So that's the first aspect. The second aspect for me, and I'm just listening to so much when I'm in the car, when I'm out gardening, when I'm doing whatever, I am listening to so much about this question of AI at the moment. And I think there are some fundamental aspects here. And let me start with the powers that be, and the top 1-2% of people that believe that they have the bulk of the power, the bulk of the resources, and the bulk of the decision-making capability. And I think there's a huge burden of responsibility on them in terms of the decisions that they are making, with or without us, about how AI is going to be developed and how AI will be used. I think, however, the critical mass comes from all of us. And I am deliberately choosing utopia rather than dystopia. There's so much energy out there about, oh no, and resistance and fear, and it's going to take all our jobs, and life will be unrecognizable. And, we've probably all got visions of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and
I'll be back.
I'll be back, and the machines taking over, etc., etc. And I guess, there's infinite possibilities. Where have I heard that before? There's infinite possibilities of what might happen. So I am choosing to fantasize and visualize and feel a world where AI helps us to become more human, where AI will support us to live better lives, where we're not fretting, we're not working our butts off, where we're not in scarcity or in lack, where AI used intelligently and used with heart can actually liberate us to step into our power, to live the lives that were intended, and blessed with being able to create. So I think there's a real distinct choice. And it's like the atom, isn't it? There's like 0.0000001% of people probably in the world, or as near as damn it, that feel, that think, that believe they own all the cards, the deck's in their hand, they can do whatever the heck they want, choose or whatever. But actually, the rest of it, that 99.99999%, boy, just think what we can do with that. And if we set our minds and our hearts to really doing the work we've learned with Dr. Joe or Wayne Dyer or, you know, whoever, they're all saying the same thing as you mentioned earlier. If we set our hearts to creating the vision of the world that we want to experience,
exactly,
we don't just outnumber the people who may want to do vexatious, malicious things with AI. They're going to be hit with such a tsunami of love and creation and invention and gratitude and compassion. They will be totally helpless.
We out resonate them, because one of the laws of the universe is the lowest frequency always succumbs to the highest, to the higher frequencies. So
have you seen that
it's,
video at Dr. Joe events with the metronomes?
yeah, I love it. I love it.
And tick, 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 and you know, and then 34 of them or 33 of them get in line, and there's this one left at the end that's misbehaving. No, I'm not going to come in line.
Rambunctious.
Yeah, rambunctious, mischievous, and eventually it has no alternative. And
because
sorry.
Sorry, the whole idea, and this is how I'm using AI as well. So I use different versions of AI to do different things. One of my big issues that I've had technically is, you know, things change so much all the time that I don't have, you know, I haven't had this like massive team behind me to help me troubleshoot all the technical stuff. Whereas now I've got Gemini, and you know, what would have taken me like 3 months to solve a problem has now taken me a couple of days. And I've come through this process a better human, exactly what Norma is talking about. And through, you know, in it, I've trained it to understand my vision. I've trained it to understand, you know, what is important to me. I've really infused my heart-centeredness into this, so that this is what I'm getting back. And you know, I do believe that AI is very much like the outer reality, like 3D reality as we call it. That, you know, it is a mirror of what we are. So if we are mirroring fear and panic and doubt, and you know, that's what's going to come back to us. So Norma, I'm with you.
Yeah, I know, and it's that boomerang effect, isn't it? That what you emit is what you get reflected back, and we know all of this, and it's simply a choice to take our attention off what's not serving us, of what's negative, of what can I call it? Energy vampireism, isn't it? Of what drains us of our energy. We spend hours in the morning getting ourselves into a great place, and if we jump in the car and drive somewhere and start shouting at the rubbish driver that's just carved us up, then, you know, and is that worth it? So, you know, these reminders, and I'm hoping to do a bit more on Dr. Joe's aspects of think box and play box. And I think through AI, our play box can be so huge. And if, well, not if, when that happens, I think we'll be able to focus more on our transformation, our expansion, and just living better quality lives. Life isn't meant to be as hard as it feels at times.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep, I agree with that one.
So I think you know, it's good to be informed. I'm finding it quite difficult to keep up to speed with things. But if we choose to focus on the benefits and focus on the good that this can bring, and some people may well call that naive, but I'm calling it quantum physics. And
observation effect.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot to be said for that. Let's just take our attention off what we don't want and focus on what we do want, and get informed and start understanding it a bit more. And I couldn't agree with you more. I've started using AI more and more, not just for practical things at work, etc., but for bouncing ideas around, for getting creative input.
One of the issues that I've seen come up, one of the reasons that people are afraid of it is some people have had, psychoses with it. And, if you think about that, if someone isn't completely stable and if in whatever process they're in, and they put that into AI will give it back. So it's not necessarily going to support them. It's the same as us, going into a playground, and because we're angry, we want to beat up a whole bunch of other things, and we go around beating. You're going to get that back. And I really believe that the same thing's happening with the AI. That people are putting all their stuff on, and not knowing, they don't necessarily have the tools, or they don't understand how it's reflecting things back to them. And news being the news, we get to hear about all these horrible things rather than all the ways that it does help.
Yeah, very true. And I do feel deeply for the people that are in fear and have issues around all of these aspects, because I've been there myself without the help of AI. Some time ago, a good few years back now, but when you're in that dark night of the soul place, and when you're at that level of stress and fear, the smallest, most insignificant things would send me reeling.
Absolutely.
And they're the people that I feel a huge desire to reach out and, metaphorically speaking, if not physically, put my arms around them and take care of them and show them that there's a different way and there are different choices that they can make. I was just listening to a testimonial this afternoon as I was having a very late lunch when I got back, and it was a soldier who'd been in the US Army for some considerable time, had significant PTSD, managed to work through various things and got sicker and sicker and sicker, and found Dr. Joe's work. And just the way he was telling his story and the breakthroughs that he's had, and setting up his own retreat center, and going back and sharing what he'd learned with so many other people. So I think deep down, everybody comes from a place of unconditional love. I believe that is what's at the source of the universe, and everybody has a right to experience that in this life. Everybody does. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's me. That's my bit on AI. I'm choosing it to love it and to be curious about it and to expect it to do great and wonderful things. And people talk and write about the big technocrats and what they're doing or not doing, etc. I am encouraged by Sam Altman, although I have no idea what he's really like. But Jack Cornfield is one of his biggest spiritual mentors. He meditates every day.
What is it about Sam Altman that is why have you mentioned him specifically?
Sam Altman is the driving force behind OpenAI and ChatGPT. And I think people have this view, in some cases potentially absolutely right, of the sort of the capitalist money and power hungry technocrats.
I like mungry, that's funny.
Mungry, I know, yeah. Where did that come from? Who want to take over the world and run it on their terms. I saw, as part of the Inner MBA, I saw a beautiful interview between Jack Cornfield and Sam Altman, and I just thought, wow, here's a man who is sitting on stage, who is probably the head of the most valuable company in the world right now, by far. And he sat talking spirituality with Jack Cornfield, who's been his spiritual mentor for 20, 30 years. And I'm just thinking, like, wow, maybe there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
But wait, we're creating the light. That's the point.
We are, yeah.
And for me, you know, it comes back to the whole point of we're doing this together. And it's our authentic connection. You know, like I'm sitting here in a bus, just being me. Norma's ironing. You know, Nyasha's on this call with us. Thank you very much. And you know, I know with your internet connections, it's difficult for you to have video on, but this is it. This is what life is about. It's these kind of connections, these kind of conversations, and really getting to know each other. Because we are people first. Business is personal.
Yeah, business is personal. It's really raw, and there's not a single person that I get the privilege of meeting day upon day upon day where their business isn't intricately interwoven with their personal life. So I think for me, I'd like a world where there isn't really a difference between work and personal life, where you're just spending your days.
You're not living for the weekend.
Doing things that you love doing, and you wake up every morning excited for the day ahead, and you can go with the flow, and there's no 9 to 5 and no constraints, where you just do what you feel called to do that particular day. And I know there are responsibilities and things that you have to do, but if you're doing it from a place of love and wanting to, rather than
that balance.
Necessity. And how many people do I talk to who are kind of compromising and making do, and you know, while I'm working so that I have enough money to go on holiday 2 or 3 times a year and really enjoy myself in my holidays? Well, we all have the right to live our lives like that every
moment
day.
by moment.
Moment by moment.
Exactly.
So AI. I'm doing Spanish lessons at the minute, and I think it's really funny because the Spanish call AI IA.
The same in French, in France.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's very cool. Very cool. I mean, a really big overriding factor, and it's you know the pictures that I've chosen on the NetNomads platform, the one about doing the inner work is just, you know, it's like a cosmic scene, and it's just sparkles and hearts and everything, because that is the vision that I have, is that we are doing the work we love. And because we're doing that, that's how we're spending our time. It's just our creative heart is just wide open. We are fully supported because we know that we are abundance. We know that we are creation. We know that we are God in human flesh. You know, we are the universe expressing itself in, you know, it like, I mean, I look at my hands now, I go, wow, you know, you look at the cells, and just to think that the universe is trying to express itself, it's trying to squeeze all of the universe into the tip of your finger. It's like, it's just, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And to be able to share this with people who understand it, for me, is just wow. So I thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. For me, this has been a delicious conversation. Thank you very much.
I've enjoyed it. Thank you. It's lovely to hear from Nyasha and her experience of things as well, because, you know, everybody's perspective is valid, and I think there's such beauty and richness in sharing thoughts and experiences.
Absolutely.
In all the conversations I'm having with different people about NetNomads, the most precious aspect that's coming through is beautiful conversations, either just for the joy of having a rich, interesting conversation, or having those beautiful conversations to support each other through through tough times, through times when you feel, wow, I have no idea what's coming, but it would be good to know that there's people there to support me if stuff goes wrong, or, you know, whatever. Yeah,
definitely. Thank you.
Okay.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nyasha. Thank you so much for being on the call. I'm going to stop the recording now. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and see you again in 2 weeks' time, where we're going to be having our open chat with everybody. Ciao.